Hi friends, till now we have discussed that how can we create multiple containers in the Docker Swarm, and in last video we have also seen that how the Docker Swarm, whenever any container was going down, whenever we are bringing down the container, how Docker Swarm reinitiates the new container instead of that old container which we brings down. So already we have discussed the main important two features of the Docker Swarm. The first feature was that whenever any container goes down or any host machine goes down, Docker Swarm takes care to bring up the new containers for that Docker Swarm. And the second feature of the Docker Swarm was that how many host machines are there inside the Docker cluster, all the containers inside the Docker cluster will be able to communicate with the all other containers. Suppose what I mean to say that if you will give docker ps, we don't have any container in the master. Docker ps, see, 3 containers are there. Okay, so let me check the IP address of this container. Docker. So how to check the IP address? Already I have said docker info this. Sorry, inspect docker. So see, I will get all the details of this. Okay, so this is my IP address of that container. Okay, so I noticed the docker ps. So what I want to do, I want to check that these containers are might communicating with the other container or not. Okay, so let me docker exec. Let me check with this container I am able to communicate to this first container or not. So I will give the ping command and I will give this host name. Okay, 0. So see what I am getting. I am able to ping. So means I am able to ping this first container from the second container. Now this is in this same host machine. Now let me take any container of the different host machine. Docker ps. These all are the containers running over there. Let me take out this IP. docker docker inspect this one. So this is my IP address. Okay. So now what I will check this container, which is this container F88, which is present in my node 3 machine, is able to communicate with any of the container which is present in node 1 machine or not. So see what I will do. Now only I will change the IP address. Now I will give this new IP address of this host machine. So this new IP address is 10.255.0.9. So see what is happening. Wow, very good. Means what I mean to say that we are able to communicate, all the containers inside the Docker cluster are able to communicate with each other. We are having 10 Docker container is there. Already we have seen Docker see 10 replicas is there, 10 container is there running for this Docker. Okay, so if I want to see more details, Docker service ps mytom. So all these 10 containers are running, and some are running in the node 3, some are running in the node 2, some are running in the node 1. But all the containers, all the 10 containers are able to communicate with each other. Got my point? So all these 10 containers are able to communicate with each other. What I mean to say. But this we were not able to achieve in our Docker Compose, because in the Docker Compose we were able to create multiple containers at a time, but we were not able to create multiple containers in several host machine, and but in the Docker Swarm we are able to run our multiple containers in the multiple host, but that host should be part of the cluster. So first only we have to make a cluster, add that server into that cluster. After that this whatever the container we will run, that will be distributed among different host machines. Okay, so we have discussed all these two points which we discussed in our advantage of the Docker Swarm in the theoretical parts. So let me show you how load balancing happens in this. Before that, let me remove this one. So see, now nothing is present. Okay, Docker service ls I already assumed Docker node ls 4 servers are there. Okay, so see, now what I want to show you, we have seen that all the IPs are able to communicate with each other, and we have also seen that when we bring down any few containers, automatically that number of containers comes up in either the same server or in another server. Okay, so these two features we have seen. Now the third point is how the load balancing happening in this Docker Swarm. What is the proof that load is getting distributed among all the servers? So to show that, let me create an nginx server. Docker service replicas. Let me take 10. Yeah, 10 is sufficient. But before that, Docker node update. What I did, I made this master server as active because it was in the drain mode, and in the drain mode no containers would be running in this master server. As I am having only 4 servers for my practical, so I made this master server also active so that containers will be distributed in this master server as well. Okay, so let me run this command. So name I have given, replicas I have given. After that, yeah, mount. Before mount also one thing is there. Yeah. See what I discussed in the Docker volume. Okay, Docker volume create. Suppose I give any name, my channel name Devops. Okay. Now I am not running this command. When I will run this command, what changes will happen? Inside the default inside this default volume directory of the Docker, here it will create a Devops volume. Okay, so let me run this command. Now see what will happen. Docker volume Devops. Docker volume create Devops but it is not showing over here. Let me change any other name because I got why it is not coming. Devops. So see, now I got this directory. Okay, so this Devops is created. Why previously it was not created? Because I might have used some time and I have forcefully deleted the directory from here itself. That's why it was not coming over here. So now I changed the name. After that it is coming over here. So what I mean to say that first I have created one volume group inside this folder. Okay, inside the master, in my master server. So now what I will do, Docker service create name my engine, any name you can give, replicas 10 and replicas 20. The same name I have to give, which I mounted, Devops, and target would be user HTML this template will be given. So after that we have to do the port mapping. 1 2 3 4 80 is the default port. See what command I used. Docker service create is the command to create any Docker service, means to run any container. I have given hyphen name equal to my engine. I have given replicas equal to 10, means 10 containers will be created. Now new thing came here, mount. What is mount? See, in the volume we have seen that we to create the volume group, we have two options. Either Docker volume create this, and Docker we used -v option. With the -v option, automatically the container gets linked to the Docker volume. Okay, so here what it is, in the Docker swarm, to create Docker volume, -mount option is there. Means I am mounting this source. What is my source path? The source path is inside the volume. I am having the Devops Z directory, but Devops Z is my source, and my destination is user share nginx HTML. Why I took this as a destination? Because the default path of the nginx, inside which we get the output in our end user, that is modified inside this. That's why I have given, so that I can show you when we will modify something. And we did the port mapping. This 80 is the default port for the nginx. So I have given 1 2 3 4 should be my port for the end user to reach to the URL, and nginx is my image name. So when I will run this command, you see what will happen. See, it is created. Now if I will give docker ps, 3 container is up in this server. Okay, if I will give docker ps over here, 2 nginx container came in this server. So likewise it got distributed among all the 4 containers. So now what I actually want to show you, let me give the, see, this is my IP address, and the port number this time also 1 2 3 4. When I will refresh, see what is coming. Welcome to nginx. Why welcome to nginx? Because in all the 10 containers, if you will go to this path, this will be your default message, welcome to nginx. Now why I created this, why I mounted this volume group, now you will come to understand. See what I will do now. cd devops cd. Now inside this HTML file, index HTML file, I will modify. What I will do, I will write welcome to nginx. This is master server. Okay, the same thing I will do for all the remaining 4 server. Okay, now in this server what I will write, this is welcome to nginx node 1 server. I am doing nothing. I just created 10 containers and I mounted the volume group as well. So what I am doing, I am just changing the default message of the nginx so that I can show you in the browser how load balancing happens. So this is node 2 server, and this in this server also let me change cd welcome to nginx So see what I will do now. What I did, I modified the message of this index HTML which the output user sees. Looks okay. So now if I will refresh this page, see what I am written. Welcome to Nginx Node 2. This same URL, I will change nothing, the same URL. I will just refresh. If I will open in private browser the same URL, see what message I am written. This is my master server. With the same URL, if you will see, I was getting welcome to Nginx. This is Node 2 server. If again I will open the same URL, see what message I am written. This is Node 1 server. If again I will show you with the same URL, this is Node 1 server. If again I will show, this is Node 3 server. Means what I mean to say you that the same URL I was clicking, the same URL I was doing nothing. The same URL I was just clicking again and again, and I was looking that the load balancer is redirecting to different servers, so that no one server would get the maximum of the load. It was getting redirected to all these 4 servers. Load was getting distributed to all the 4 servers. Okay. It is not refreshing in this because this output is getting from the cache memory as JavaScript is enabled in this. Okay. So, but if I will open this in the private browser, you will look that this load balancer will redirect to any different port. Okay. See, this is Node 2 server. Let me again open in the private browser. This time we made it. This is master server. Means all the times you are clicking on the same URL. This is master server, but you are getting redirected to any of the host wherever the load is low. So what I mean to say, this whole entire load balancing task is done automatically by the Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm is intelligent enough to take the care of all these features of the load balancing. Okay. So we have seen how load balancing happens, how the Docker Swarm redirects to all the hosts wherever this Tomcat is installed. So I think you got the concept of this load balancing and all. So this was all about for our this Docker Swarm lecture, and almost we have covered all the features of the Docker Swarm. So I had prepared the notes also for all these commands. Whatever the command I am using, I had made a separate notes for all these commands of the Docker Swarm, and I have uploaded all these notes in my Facebook group Devops. So if you want, you can download it from the Facebook group Devops. And I will request every one of you to do the practical parallelly, because without the practical you will not be able to understand all the features, all the concept whatever I am sharing over here. So I will request every one of you to please do the practical, and if you want to get the notes, you can download it from my Devops Facebook group. So that's all for this video. We will come up in the next video with another features. Okay, thank you.